Awesome.
All right. So,
Thanks,
right.
Leah.
So we, yeah, dang, doing it at the same time. Okay, so 3 to 4 times per week we meet and talk about 10 plus things that are going on with small business or tech. Man, she's giving a lot of love. And my name is Aaron.
And I'm Christian. Sorry.
All right, let's just get into this. So 10 things you need to know before you run your Facebook ad. All right. And number 1 is definitely, what is your budget for the ad?
By the way, these are not in any particular order, right?
Right. Yes. Probably should have put that in there. But yeah, no particular order. But yes, finding out the budget for your ad. If you're going to spend $10, you're going to spend $20. If you're going to do it in an end date, or if you're going to do it continuously, you need to know how much you're going to spend.
Correct. Now, what about what does Facebook suggest that you do? Is it like $5 a day or something like that?
Yeah, they suggest that. I would highly suggest against that if you're just starting out, especially since they're in it to make the money. So you spending $5 a day doesn't sound like much, but you can get the same type of interaction, engagement, and conversions for a lot less.
See if I can get it.
Okay, this number 2. What type? Do what? Yeah, there you go. Better buy. You can ask life coach Leah. Leah, am I saying that right? Okay. Anyway, number 2. Yes, I was saying it right. Cool. What type of ad is this? So, do you want to do a video? Do you want to do an image? Do you want to do multiple images?
Those are the main 3, basically.
Right. You can do a Facebook page, or there's actually a lot more. But if you're going to do a specific ad, then I would definitely stay with those. Now, there we go. What's your question
on Facebook?
There?
So from what we've done, from what we've heard is that Facebook is favoriting or giving basically a boost to videos. So videos is basically going to rule everything. Personally, we haven't run any Facebook ads using video. We are planning, and we are talking to some of our clients to do some short videos so we can actually start testing that. But besides that, we've done the multiple image one, and that one's been pretty good, actually. So,
right. It had a lot higher conversion rate, but our previous blab that we talked about yesterday, we talked about which ones to use. So you would want to check out that on YouTube if you had any questions about the single video or multiple images. But definitely, like he was saying, video would really be the way to go right now, especially since not very many people are using it. So you'd be ahead of the curve, beating everybody else. And then, so depending on if you have an image or a video, that brings us to number 3/4 is, if it is an image, are you going to use a single image or multiple images? And if you're going to do a video, how are you going to purpose the video? Meaning, are you going to do a 15-second video and then send them to your website? Or are you going to do a longer video and explain what you're selling or what you're trying to advocate for? I will try to find the link for that. If Christian can pull up the doc, I'll post the link to our YouTube or to our YouTube. And also on YouTube, so you can just get the document that we created. So eventually we're going to have a website and you can just grab it from there. But on the YouTube video, I put all the text of basically everything that we've already typed up beforehand in the video. So you can hear it from us and we'll explain it better. But if you just want to check out the data and you want to know okay, what way to use something. The text is in there. It's not as detailed, but it is there. So let me try to find that video for you. Christian, I think we are on number 5.
All right, so yeah, so number 5 is, where is the audience at in this setting?
Can you explain the background of that? Like, what do you mean by where they're at?
Okay, so basically there's 3 stages that your customers or clients, or basically customers, are going to be in when they're looking for a product, they're buying a product and all that stuff. So there's the main 3 stages are awareness, consideration, and then the decision stage. The awareness stage is whenever they are, they know they have a problem, but they don't know exactly what that solution is. The consideration stage is when they know they have a problem, they found a solution, and they're basically, considering you as a potential solution. And then the decision stage is more of making the decision to use that solution. So let me pull
Right.
this up real quick.
Okay, now I'm attaching the YouTube link. However, we do the videos in stacked sequence. So the video that happened yesterday will not actually be up until tomorrow, because I just posted the one from a couple of days ago. So we have, it'll be up tomorrow. But this is our YouTube link, and you can definitely check it out as far as going looking at it tomorrow.
Okay. So depending on where the customer is in those settings or those stages, is where you set up your audience, like, correct?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Whether or not they are somebody who's been to your website, somebody who you are attracting to your website for the first time, and then figuring out who clicks on your website. So that's what's good about Facebook ads, is that you can run multiple campaigns at the same time and then retarget the same people who actually visit your ad. So if they're in the decision stage, or if they're in the it's awareness, what is it? Consideration? Yeah, so consideration stage, meaning that if I had a customer who went to my website, they looked around on a few pages, but more likely than not, they are probably not going to purchase the product the first time. So that's where the Facebook Pixel comes in handy. You can attract the people who had visited your website and retarget an ad specifically to them. And you can do that for any page on your website, or just people who have been to your website in general. So you definitely want to know where they're at in that stage, because if you try to tell somebody to buy something and they've never heard of, if you try to tell somebody to buy a Ford car and they've never heard of Ford, then they're obviously not going to purchase, or the
same thing as like we were talking
earlier
about, we want to tell people to come to our blab, but if they don't know what blab is, we have to basically, you have to educate them.
Educate them, which is good. I think I saw that earlier. There was talk about, which we'll get into tomorrow, as far as new tech, Facebook Live. And with Facebook Live, that could open up the door for more people to know what live streaming is, which could really open the gates for Blab. People are like, now I know what Blab is, and jump in. Okay. Now, number 6 is the type of ad. So do you want to be funny, informative, educational, etc.? And those are very general, but depending on your brand, it really you want to stay true to your brand's voice. So if you're trying to think of somebody who does it good, like Geico, their brand or their audience or their ads are going to be funnier. Usually it's like the caveman, or flow, it's more of a comical relief type ad, they wouldn't go and try to do something differently. So you want to stay true to your voice, and that's a really good question to ask yourself before you're placing an ad is, am I being true to my brand? And if I am, am I portraying it exactly how I'd like for it to be? Again, these are not in any complete order because this would be, number 7 would probably be last, but testing. So with testing, I guess we could go in a little bit deeper and say that you would want to do something that's like dark posts or unpublished posts to test the ads that you have currently. If you have an idea for a different subject or a different picture between 2 ads, run them as a dark post, and this allows you to put your ad out there but not target your audience. So the people who are going to see your ads don't see a bunch of your ads, and you're able to test and see, oh, okay, well, the one with the image with the girl, facing this direction instead of the other direction actually works better, and I can use this ad and then repurpose that ad. Facebook makes it very easy to go and create the ad, and then as you're creating the ad, you can click an unpublished post from your dark post and just make sure that you capitalize on that. So it's really a no risk option to get your audience engaged with the most popular
and that's
the ad set that
Power
you have.
Editor, right?
Correct. Yes, that's most important thing is you cannot do it from your ads manager, and you cannot do it from, I think you have to set up business for Facebook first and then access it through your ads manager and then going through Power Editor, which can be a little tricky. So if you guys ever have any questions, just ping us on Twitter or on YouTube. You can leave a comment and we will kind of explain that, which could be another video. But okay, you want to do number 8?
Right. So we've done this too, actually. So number 8 is themed ad. As far as like, depending on like maybe a holiday or something like that. So we've done a few for the holidays, for Black Friday, Christmas, and stuff like that. So we actually kind of like maybe even reuse some of the old ads and make them a little bit more Christmassy as far as the images and stuff like that. And we've done that with some of our ads, and we get a little bit better exposure that way too. Number 9 is the goal for the ad. So basically, when you start creating the ad, one of the first things that Facebook asks you is, what's the purpose of the ad? So if you want to get more likes, if you want to get people to your website, I don't remember which ones are.
Conversions. So the difference between clicking to your website, conversions, promote an event, promote an offer. So if you give a discount or an offer. So the variety of different things, I guess.
And depending on the goal for the ad, the call to action changes. Right. But from what we've read and learned is that you want to try to keep the call to action to learn more.
Right. Stay away from the salesy type actions. It's hard to remember when you're a salesperson, but keeping the calls to action on Facebook not as salesy as possible, just because people are not on Facebook to go to another website to get sold to. They're on there to interact with friends and have fun. So by putting on there like shop now, it actually discourages people from going there. So the good call to action, or one that has worked really well for a lot of marketers, is learn more. And this is, takes you straight to the website, takes you exactly where you're going, but it's a psychological effect that they are able to not feel like they're being sold to. Okay, number 10, the duration of the ad. How many days will you run it? So, if I would always say to check it after 48 hours. You're going to need some time that it gets out there. and Facebook puts it in its algorithm. So give it at least 48 hours, even if it's doing poorly and you think that, something's wrong with it. If it's obvious, then change it. But if not, let it run for about 48 hours to really see the results, because it does take some time for Facebook to put it out there, especially if your budget's lower and your bid isn't as high. You won't be seeing as much traffic as what you think.
And I think
we've
run our ads maybe 1-2 weeks. I feel like after 5 days, the cost per action starts rising. So it starts basically with 22 cents, 16 cents, and then it starts going to 61 cents, $1 for every click that people do on your ads.
Right. Once it starts to go up dramatically, you want to just cancel the ad and repurpose it, because there's also a tool within, I like using the Facebook Ads Manager, but if you go into the Facebook Ads Manager, you can see how much the frequency is. And this is how much one individual person sees your ad. So if it starts to get up to a number like 5 or 6 or 7, then it's probably time to take the ad off, just because that person is being annoyed with your brand and you don't want to keep hitting them in the face with something that they're obviously not clicking on. And number 11 we have is the pixel set up correctly. So this is huge, especially if you're doing conversions from your website, clicking people to your website, or even later on, which is the biggest technique, which would be retargeting. So what the pixel is, if you don't know, it's a tracking tool that Facebook uses to find out who's going to your website, and then if they're on Facebook, allowing you to retarget an ad to them specifically on, it could be a page, it could be the whole website, it could be a product specifically, but it's a tracking pixel for that specific person, which is very cool. Anybody, if you're selling, for example, a water bottle, and 100 people go check out that water bottle, you can create an ad to say, hey, too bad you missed out about this water bottle. Now it's 20% off, or, whatever else, and incentivize those people, and you're putting yourself right in front of the right people to buy your
before
product.
We knew any of this, we were always wondering why, you go to a certain website and all of a sudden all the Facebook ads are about that website. And it's because of that, because they have those Facebook pixels.
Right.
They're tracking where you're going on their website, and they're figuring out, you looked at our water bottle, so we're going to sell you this water bottle. So,
right. Exactly. And something that we downloaded here recently anyway is called the Pixel Helper. So it's a tool for people with Chrome. So if you're using Facebook ads anyway, I would just tell you to download Chrome, because all the extensions and the abilities to use Power Editor, I believe you have to have Chrome anyway. But the Pixel Helper is a Chrome extension, and you can go to any website, and over in the corner, it will tell you if they have a pixel set up or not. That may be interesting for some people, or if you're just talking specifically for your business, it allows you to go to your website and make sure that your pixel's working correctly. Because if it's not set up, then all your tracking doesn't work. But if it is set up, you'll get a green little dot with a blue arrow up there saying that your pixel's working. You can click on it and view the details, and it just lays out everything that you need to know. Basically, you're good to go to start running your ads. I think that's it for our list as far as what we have. Could you think of anything as we were going?
Not really. I mean, the only thing was maybe expand a little bit on the audience. I know, when you choose your audience, it goes very, very, very specific on Facebook. So, I mean, it gives you a lot of options on what you can do to target certain people. It goes from location, right, gender, income, people who've liked your page, people who don't like your page, demographics, everything. I mean, it goes through everything. I don't know, from what we've read, was it you want to be specific?
Yes and no. So you want to be specific when you're retargeting, or you don't want to be specific when you're retargeting. But or actually neither really. It depends on what it is. So if the audience is, you know your audience, then you want to try to target those people and send them that ad. But if you don't know your audience, you want to throw out a net. You should know your audience anyway, but you should throw out a net of a general geolocation within your area to attract people to the ad. The people who click through and go to your website, you can gather the data from the people who click through, and you realize that, okay, 30 to 40-year-old women who do this and this and this are my audience. So then you can retarget another ad, or you can target another ad like clicks to your website using that data later. But initially, you need to know that data. So later on, you can get more specific. And then when you're retargeting, you don't need to worry about any of that at all, because you don't care about what the data said. You just know that these people went to your website and they were interested in what's going on in the website. So you just retarget them from the audience you created with that pixel. So that one, you just leave it blank. I believe from anything that we've ever done on the retargeting audience, we just leave all of that blank and then go into advanced settings for a couple of different things. But retargeting them is very broad once you actually
and then
get
another
into the
thing
audience.
is, if you already have an email list, you can also basically plug that in and target all those people specifically.
Mm-hmm. Right. If you have an XSV file for or an XSL file for Excel, you can upload that. Or if you're like a lot of people, if you have MailChimp, you can just connect it directly. That's the easiest way. So if you have MailChimp, get it. And if you don't have MailChimp, then you can do a file created on your computer. But I like MailChimp, so do that one. And we're not affiliated with MailChimp. I feel like we do this question or say this every time, but we're not affiliated with MailChimp. Just love the products. So, okay. I think that's it for at least the recording. Lee, if you have any questions or anything, we can answer those after the recording. But